Hey guys, I've got a really important topic for you if you enjoy having sex. So I was out to dinner a couple nights ago with one of my buddies. Now after dinner, he said he was going out on a date. He basically alluded to the fact that he was going to quote unquote get lucky tonight. Anyway, I noticed he ordered a bunch of foods that are definitely not what you want to eat before having sex. Now, he was in the mood for Italian food, so he ordered like a big pasta dish with meatballs. He had garlic bread with it and a couple glasses of wine, and he also had a Caesar salad before dinner. Of course, I didn't want to lecture him, however, I did warn him and told him to order maybe something else, but of course, he didn't listen. And guess what? The next day, he sent me a text that said, quote, "Dude, I should have listened to you last night and not eaten that food. Things didn't go well." So allow me to share the 4 foods you shouldn't eat before sex to save you the embarrassment, pain, and suffering my buddy went through. Now, the first food are vegetables. Listen, when you're going to have sex, you want to make sure you smell good and, more importantly, do not smell bad. Obviously, good hygiene, right? Shower, cologne, and fresh breath matter. However, what you eat also makes a difference, and it happens as soon as you eat. So how are different ways that you might smell bad? Well, anything that comes out of your quote unquote holes. That's your mouth, your anus, and your urethra. Now, as far as your mouth is concerned, don't have anything with like garlic or onions, all right? Not only will your breath smell, but so will your entire body, all right? That foul odor from garlic just leaks out of your skin. Now, regarding what comes out of your ass, this includes anything that's going to cause you to get gassy or bloaty. So let's just do away with almost all vegetables. All right, most people don't do well with them. They have too much fiber and they require different enzymes that, require proper digestion, which as we get older, we don't have as much, and thus they cause gas and bloating, which will cause you to fart. We don't want that. Finally, we have your urethra, or that's basically where you urinate. There is one food, more specifically a vegetable, that will cause your urine to smell badly and potentially even your cum as well, and that's the vegetable asparagus. You probably heard about it, so try to not have that food or vegetable. Now, let's quickly go over to dairy. Most of us are lactose intolerant, and thus you shouldn't eat anything that contains dairy. This is basically milk, butter, ice cream, and so forth. Remember, a lot of desserts come with dairy. So basically why? You get very bloaty and gassy. Again, not cool. Then we have alcohol. Now, I know most of you will hate this because I know many of you need a drink or two before having sex, right? It allows you to relax and lower your inhibitions. Unfortunately, alcohol does lots of negative things which cause you to not perform as well sexually, thus not being able to get good erections or maintain one. And some people have heard of whiskey dick. Well, this is a problem. And again, nothing will turn a woman off or ruin a sexual moment like a limp dick. And finally, we have carbohydrates. Listen, I love carbs, right? Who doesn't? Especially when you go out to a nice restaurant, you have a good meal, you're going to end up probably having some carbs or maybe a lot of it. Now, this is a bad idea for a variety of reasons. First of all, carbs will increase serotonin levels, which can reduce your sex drive. They do the opposite of dopamine. Number 2, carbs will cause you to feel basically tired and sluggish, which you don't want before sex, especially if it's going to be late in the evening, you're already starting to get tired as it is. And finally, carbs tend to cause gas and bloat, again, similar to vegetables and dairy. Thus, you need to avoid or limit all carbs, such as, again, bread and pasta, potatoes, and even fruit. However, there is one carb I do like, and that's white rice. It's easy to digest, no bloat, and no gas. And finally, we have fatty meats. Now, if cutting carbs wasn't bad enough, you need to also limit the fatty cuts of meat, such as steak, or even hamburgers and hot dogs and similar foods. Now, the main reason for this is weaker blood flow throughout your body because of the different fats, all right? And thus that weaker blood flow will negatively affect your penis and thus your ability to get an erection. So for protein, right, you want to stick to something like baked or broiled fish or roasted chicken. Now, I know this meal is going to look very bland and boring, right? Basically white rice and chicken or fish, but it'll allow you to perform your best, especially if it's your first impression. So also make sure you optimize your testosterone level so you can increase your sex drive and get harder and fuller erections. Again, if you want more details about how to improve your sexual performance, at the end of this video, there's another one. There's also below the description area, I've got some of the best ways to naturally improve your sex, hormones, and sexual performance in bed so you can have bigger, harder, fuller erections and a happier mood. Let me know your questions below, what foods you eat or don't do well for you before you have sex,